There's some cool stuff around here. Ah, looks cool. Well, my legs and feet are cold. Wow. Look at this, how cool this is. That's cold. Hey everyone, welcome to another adventure with MinerBiker. I'm out deep down in the heart of the San Rafael at Hidden Splendor, an old mine site and backcountry airstrip down here on the Muddy Creek. And we're out here to spend the night. And then early tomorrow morning, I'm getting up and doing a self-shuttle with the bike over to Tomsich Butte for a through hike of the 14-mile Chute of the Muddy Creek. Should be pretty epic. So with that, we will bring you along on this grand adventure doing the chute tomorrow. Should be epic. Been waiting a long time to do this one. Beautiful, almost full moon rise over the cliffs here above Hidden Splendor. Absolutely stunning. Not quite all the way full. Absolutely beautiful. There's the Muddy Creek right there where it heads down through the reef. We'll be hiking down from up that way tomorrow. Alright, just before sunrise the next morning, I am leaving camp at Hidden Splendor on the bike, biking about 18 miles on the road to Tomsich Butte at the top end of the Muddy Creek Chute, where I will stash the bike and through hike 14 miles all the way through the chute. My wife and the dogs are gonna hang here at camp for a while, and then they're gonna hike up the chute from here and meet up with me. The whole bike and hike route was a little more than she was wanting, and more than the dogs could do. Off we go. Lovely night last night. Never even got dark because the big bright moon. It's gonna be quite a day. Starting off with quite a climb on the bike. Good old-fashioned grind up out of Hidden Splendor. Good for you. Comes the sun. Good morning. Right here on the right is the very west end of the Behind the Reef Trail. Make sure to check out the video from that about a month ago. And I out and back behind the reef from Crack Canyon to here. Epic and incredibly scenic OHV/4-wheeler trail route along the back side of the reef. That was an awesome ride. That's looking down towards Hidden Splendor where we came from. All across the Muddy Creek area. That's Chimney Canyon across from us. We're going to Tomsich Butte, which is way up that way, and hike that stretch of the Muddy Creek along there after we finish riding this nice steep rough rocky road. And here's the back side of the reef right there. Oh, just stunning country. Absolutely incredible. old car. Alright, if you were to keep going straight, that'd take you on out of this part of the swell over to Temple Mountain Road. Hanging left here is going to take us down to Tomsich Butte. The high point of the route for today. Hour and a half out of Hidden Splendor, 10.7 miles and just over 2,000 vertical feet. Not bad. Now we drop a big portion of that elevation right back down to Tomsich. Oh, this landscape out here is the best. So good. So pretty. Alright, we are arriving at Tomsich Butte. This road intersection. To the right is the Reds Canyon Road. To the left takes us down to the end of the road at the old Tomsich Butte mining area. And the viewpoint for the Hondu Arch. Also the top of the chute. Swing in here to get a picture with the Tomsich Butte mine here. My wife and I were here a few years ago now and hiked and pretty extensively explored around Tomsich Butte and Hidden Splendor. Make sure to check out that video, it will be linked. Fascinating and pretty extensive old mining areas here. Big uranium mining operations back in the day. See a big waste dump right there in front of us, and then you got the big ore chute coming down over here. You can see a big barred off mine portal up there just to the right of the ore chute. Yeah, I see more here exploring around Tomsich Butte. Not going to do much of that today. We've got other things to do, but see more of checking around this whole mining area here and then over Hidden Splendor. Make sure to check out that other video from a few years ago. There's some cool stuff around here. Fascinating history. Some pretty big and expansive old uranium mining areas. Maybe hard to see on the action camera, but right up there is big Hondu Arch. Huge arch up there. That one's one of the coolest, most unique arches you'll see anywhere. Alright, we're going to kind of go down to the end of this road. Get down here in the tamarack brush and stuff along the edge of the creek. Find a good spot to stash the bike. Remains of an old car. Cool. Right here is the start of the wilderness area, so as far as we can legally ride. So now we'll just find us a spot off here in the brush for the bike to hang out for. Alright, the bike is stashed in the bushes out of sight. Time to set off into the chute of the Muddy Creek. Should be about 14-ish miles from here all the way down to Hidden Splendor. A lot of that's pretty wide open. There's the stretch in the middle that's the proper chute itself. It gets pretty narrow and some good creek hiking. Should be fun. There's our first view, and probably gonna be our first crossing of Muddy Creek. Perfect conditions right now to do it. Water's not too high. Should be about as good as it's gonna get. Not gonna be very warm, but oh well. I can bring my trekking pole to use the third leg. I don't slip and fall. The water's not super warm. Overall, not too bad. Many more of those to go. Now my old trail running shoes I'm wearing for this tracker are squishy. Speaking of water crossings, make sure to check out absolutely wild and amazing ride I did last fall in the Tusher Mountains, where I rode down South Fork of Pine Creek, South Fork of North Creek. Yeah, that's what it's called, in the Tusher Mountains. And oh my goodness, I have never crisscrossed creek so many times with a bike in my life. That was absolutely insane and wild. Make sure to check out that one, because that one will be linked, because that'll be, by the end of today, that'll probably be the second wettest adventure I've ever had. I think today, with the narrow stretch where you're hiking in the creek for an extended period, we'll probably even top that one for being wet. That one was extra nuts, because being high in the mountains, technical wild trail, and with the bike, and with the dog. Fun. That was an all-time good one. A few wild horses right over there. There's another one on that bank right over there. That's cool to see. It's so cool seeing the wild horses. Beautiful animals. Oh, so pretty with the morning light shining on the water. Cool rock shelf. So wonderfully awesome. Definitely getting much more interesting. Jump off that bank into a hole. Ah, that looks cool. Solidly up to my knees. Definitely glad I brought the trekking pole. But feeling out ahead. That's a little on the chilly side. On the feet and legs. Looks like we're starting to get into the slot part of this. Oh wow, so pretty. Absolutely stunning. Got sticky mud down in there. But I got shoes that tie on getting tighter. You could easily get a shoe sucked right off your foot. Oh, it's so pretty. little over the knees there. Well, my legs and feet are cold. My feet are just so numb I can't hardly even feel them. Got a whole bunch of crap in my shoes. Can't feel that either. I'm gonna rub my feet raw with sand and grit in my shoes, and I don't even know it till the end. View back up canyon. So cool. Oh man, this is so cool looking. Wow. Look at this, how cool is it? Man. Back up through that amazing little slot section. Yeah, a tree right there. It's chewed down by beavers. There's beavers that live clear down in here. It's way cool. It's cool with the ripples reflecting on the wall. Got us a wide open stretch here for a minute. Kind of nice. My feet are getting warm finally. First time in a while. Got out the water long enough. Plenty warm day. Just those stretches where you're in the water for quite a while, your feet can never warm back up again. So they just get cold and stay cold. Actually getting kind of warm now. I'll probably get warm just in time to get back to another water crossing. be here doing this one. It's been on my list for a long time. And you need just the right conditions with the right water flow, right temperatures. You can't have temperatures too cold, or it's going to be overall too cold to hike in the water. Not just for your feet, but overall. So you need it warm enough. But if you wait too long in the spring, then the snow melt runoff picks up too much, and then the water flows get really high. Get high enough, people actually kayak this when the flows are really high, like early summer, the peak flow. You kind of have to time it right. Could come and do it in the fall too. Get temperatures again good, and flow would be good so long as you made sure there was no thunderstorms happening. But this is about perfect, about 80 degrees today for the high out here. It's only the second weekend of April, so flows are still pretty low. Haven't really picked up. Water's cold, but I don't think the water ever gets warm. That's about as good as you're going to get, I think, for what we're doing. Good conditions. So glad to be here finally doing it. Ooh. That's the deepest spot yet, up to about mid-thigh. It's so cool, the water is so still. Right there you have almost a perfect reflection of the cliffs. That got deep. Really deep. Mud underneath over there. Wall-to-wall water. got another section of wall-to-wall water. Hopefully it doesn't get quite as deep and muddy as the last one did. However deep and muddy it is, we're going through it. Oh, that sounds warm. Not too bad, don't have to get below the knees. Oh, it's getting deeper. Over one side over there. There's a hole over there. Trekking pole. Yeah, buddy. What an adventure, huh? Should be getting out of the slot here pretty soon, I think. Then we'll be down to where, somewhere hopefully, my wife and dogs will be there to meet me and hike the last stretch together. Love the sound of the water. got this far and then turned around. Maybe the deepest one yet. That's cold. That's fully to my waist. There. That's cold. Whew. That's chilly. Got a little wet through there. There's some footprints came up from below, came up through that really deep spot, and then there's, you can see on a sandbar where they turned around. I went through that really deep spot. I was like, screw this. Like there's a bit of a rock fall. I dammed the creek up a bit. See how deep this gets. A pretty fresh rock fall. Come from up on there, clear up there in the top layer. That'd have been exciting to watch from a distance. So you got the log jam up there. Tells you how deep water can get in here when it's flooding. Big old pile of logs jam, probably 30-40 feet up the wall. Single log up there. I think it's probably close to 50 feet in the air. Quite the log jam up there. That's crazy. Think of a flood pounding through here with that much water and power. Definitely not someplace you want to be unless you want to be dead. Big wad of flood debris. We got cow tracks to here, so must begin to be opening up and getting out of the slot. Otherwise the cows wouldn't come up here. Definitely widening out. We're back to just crisscrossing the creek, not having to necessarily hike in it. Oh, it's getting warm. It was nice and cool in the narrow parts of the canyon, but boy, it's pretty toasty out here. Get out here fully in the sun. The water is very noticeably warmer here than it was in the slot section. Amazing how much being out here spread out a little shallower and then the sun on it. You can definitely tell it's warmer. Yeah, it's still cool, but it's warmer than it was in the slot section. I'm seeing tracks, and I'm pretty sure my wife's and the two dogs. So they must have started heading back down. See if we catch up to them, or she might already be back to the truck at Hidden Splendor wondering what's taking me so long. Hi, coming. It's quite a journey. There's a big old cottonwood tree living down in here. That's huge. That canyon coming in from the right, from the west, is Chimney Canyon. Big canyon that drains down from up by the Cedar Mountains and up that area up towards Mustn't Touch It and Last Chance. Toasty and warm down this final stretch. Found my wife, finally. She was starting to wonder what happened to me. We found her. Everything's going good. There's both of the dogs up there too. Having a good time in all the water. Whole family's back together again. And we are almost back to Hidden Splendor. What a epic adventure it has been. What you doing over there, buddy? Dog loves water. He loves water. Hey, there's the rail fence. Made it to Hidden Splendor, and I just gotta pop up the top of the bluff there up by the airstrip. We have reached the end of the chute. That was pretty awesome. Alrighty everyone, we made it back to the truck. That was absolutely epic, but of course, to finish off this adventure, we now have to drive back to Tomsich Butte and pick up my abandoned bicycle. So we'll drive on back over there and officially wrap up the adventure once the bicycle has been resecured. So that was good though. That was really something. That was quite the epic trek down there through the chute, and doing it self-shuttled with a bike made it even better. All right, back over here at Tomsich Butte to pick up the bike where we left it stashed over here. There she is, right where we left it. Right where we left it. Alrighty folks, with the bike secured, that is now the official completion of this adventure, hiking the entire chute of the Muddy Creek from Tomsich Butte to Hidden Splendor, self-shuttling it with the bike this morning on the road. That was absolutely incredible. Got a little wild in some of those spots where it was getting up to waist deep in the water with the mud and everything. It was absolutely awesome. Anyways, Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to check out other videos, will be linked. Make sure to check out our video from a few years ago when we explored around Tomsich Butte and Hidden Splendor. Make sure to check out the video from last fall in the Tusher Mountains when I got almost as wet as I got today. And whatever other videos will be linked in the cards in the upper right corner of this one. So thanks again for watching. Leave us a comment, leave us a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and keep digging up new places to ride, hike, or otherwise adventure in the great outdoors. Under your own power is always the best.